Okay, so what are some general thoughts that you have, like going A into this game and B like how you want to play Sentinel? Like just give me like does that like see what I'm asking? Like just give me a general think of like how you think you should play it, like what your plan is, all that good stuff.
Oh, this is probably my first time playing Sentinel
Oh,
and
okay.
Scrim.
Okay.
I've only played like Killjoy Unbind and Ranked before. I kind of know the setups more or less because I watch my like previous teammates
Mm-hmm.
who are Killjoy nerds like do them.
Right.
So, but obviously, I'm not like very experienced or have mastered the setups and stuff.
Okay, that's actually good then. So what do you think, what is your plan then? Unless we can just look at your setup here. Like what is your thought process behind what's happening?
My thought process here was so the Sova was actually AFK right now,
I see
and
that.
I was thinking like if I set up my turret to see hookah and my like alarm bot and
Oh,
Molly
it's
in
pause.
hookah, then we both get like uh the long control with the dart.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Like I said, there's no real like. So the thing I do like about Sentinel, and also it kind of relates the same to Sova, is like obviously all agents are this way as long as there's intention. Like what you do is never like really a bad thing. But the reason
Uh-huh.
I wanted to ask you that, sorry, hold on, let me skip ahead to the right spot. Is because I do want to see like what your brain is thinking and like where it's at. Because Sentinel is
Yeah.
obviously very setup heavy, so it's important to know like, hey, I am setting this up for this reason, etc. The biggest thing like I
Yeah.
can suggest to you, which we'll obviously like point out as we see it, is just like being able to adapt your setup very like on the fly is the
Yeah.
big thing. But anyways, okay. So you said your plan was to really like have a lot of long control, and then if they were to go hookah, you could just like delay enough for like a rotate. I'm assuming that's pretty much what you said, right?
Yeah, but it ended up not being that way because
Okay.
they wanted to do aggressive A short, and the Sova was gonna dart A short for them. So
Oh,
I
I
just
see.
played back. Yeah.
Okay. That's fine. That's fine. So yeah, this is we'll see how this. Let me just watch how the round plays out. Actually, just I'm not even gonna say that yet. So why'd you pull the turret here? Just because it started shooting and you wanted to?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. That's good. I was just curious. Why do I have? Okay, never mind. We're good. So then I'm coming back. Okay, sorry. Let me back up a second. So I end up going back to A. I see. Ah, I see. Okay. And then we're just okay. All right, cool. This is good. So this is like once again we'll talk about team stuff because you're in the team environment here. It's like this is
Yeah.
great and all, but like your setup doesn't help this because what is going
Yeah.
on is because you guys are giving control of like a B because they're pushing through. That's great, but you need to set your utility up for that. And like
Uh-huh.
just preventing them from walking to hookah, like sure it can do that and it can be good too because if they want to push and fight here, they would walk into hookah and it would delay them
Yeah.
so they'd be stuck here. But once again, we need to think a little bit more ahead. So like, one of the most I still people don't see people do this a lot. It's hard to do with Killjoy. It's way easier with Cipher. Is to actually play a retake setup where and like
Uh-huh.
you could just give site control a lot of the time and just put
Yeah.
your stuff in like really annoying spots. So you could put like I don't know one like here, maybe one like in this. Like I don't know. There's a bunch of different answers, right? Like I
Mm-hmm.
can't tell
Mm-hmm.
you what's right and what's wrong per se because there's 100 different things. But like this is maybe something that could have happened here because what ends up happening is the turret pulls it great. They end up going into hookah. We pop everything, and then like it doesn't really do anything. Like
Mm-hmm.
they just kind of leave and kill your team. So a couple different things outside of just that. Let me pull a Valor plan. Something to talk to your
Let's see.
teammates about. Once again, you've already gotten the idea of like this map control, like the line that I told you
Yeah.
about. This line, whenever your teammates get here, is stretched. So it's like they pretty much have to be in this zone. So like I don't think your
Yeah.
teammates should push past this. They should just like double
Oh,
up
okay.
here and
Uh-huh.
hold this because it forces this zone. So you could have like two people hold here, like double it up, and then the other person
Oh,
rotate.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
now it's like we have a choke on the whole side of the map.
Yeah.
So once again, that's something you can maybe talk about because I actually talk about the one of the most OP spots on bind as a defender is this corner because
Uh-huh.
like they're forced into this zone, like they have to be there, And if they do come over to B, you're like good for 1 or 2 because nobody really clears
Yeah.
this. And like
Uh-huh.
you also have so much early info because if somebody runs out here or here, you're gonna catch them in like a very early spot. It gives your teammates time to rotate and set up. So it's like
Oh yeah,
it's similar in this spot because it's not the same thing, but it does the same idea where it's like now they're forced into this B side. Obviously they could be shower, like whatever, but you see what I'm saying? So
yeah.
bringing this up because once again, this isn't like a you thing, but because it's a team environment, these are things you can point out and talk to your team about beforehand. If
Yeah.
they decide to do like an A sort push, which it looks like everything looks great so far, they pushed up to here and this person's leaving, awesome. But then they just got a little too aggressive. They ended up pushing too far. So anyways, side note, but yeah. So once again, notice like your setup didn't really do a whole lot to accomplish your goal. So the biggest thing you can do, especially at just you're like roughly diamond, right? I forgot. Sorry.
Sorry?
You're diamond, right?
Yeah, but this is an immortal
Right.
stream.
Okay. Oh, cool. Heck yeah. Even better. So like the biggest thing you can do as a Sentinel player is make sure your setup is what's the word? Proactive, I guess is a good way to put it.
Uh-huh.
Because like if you just kind of set your stuff up, it's like you're not really doing your Sentinel's job, right? You gotta have that's why I asked you at the beginning of the round, like, what is your goal with this round? And you gave me one. Obviously, it didn't happen, and that's okay. Like, it doesn't have to be perfect, but it's like, yeah, exactly. But does this make sense? You see where I'm going with this? Ooh, nice shot. Set DM for no, I'm just kidding. Not really. Anyways, okay, cool. Not too bad though. Good. That was a really good first round to actually watch because it gives us a little intuition for what's going to happen in the next coming rounds. So same thing here. Okay, this is an eco. Never mind. Okay, well, that's actually, you know what? Let's do this. So this round we're not going to talk about a whole lot because it's an eco. But like, let's say you're soloing B. Let's just hypothetically talk about it right now. I'm actually going to link you this here. Open that up. You can drag stuff around like with me and I can see it. Let's just say hypothetically you have your full kit here. It's a full buy round. Where would you put your stuff? Like what's an option if you're playing a full retake? Just think map control wise. Doesn't necessarily have to be like utility. Well, obviously it's utility, but like
for eco, I'm not sure.
Okay. Yeah, like I said, pretend it's a gun round. Let's just say this is a full buy round.
Oh, okay. Usually if I have ult, I put my alarm bot there.
Okay, good.
Nano swarm there. And also usually one here or I save the other one. Then I just play elbow control.
Okay, cool. What do you do anything with your turret or you just kind of have it?
Oh, my turret, right? I just put it like here.
The same. Okay, yeah, cool. That's good. This is actually what I was going to say. One of the setups I think you could do is put your turret here. Maybe because if or maybe here, just somewhere in this elbow spot, or your alarm bar works too. Either or, it doesn't really matter. Something to have to give you info that if they get control, you can like delay a little more, something like that, right? Yeah. So that's good. That's what I wanted to ask. So cool. All right, this is an eco. There's really nothing you can do here. Now obviously you ended up dying, but once again, you're an eco. You don't have any utility. You like you said, you would have put that there, which is good. Also, something to like keep in mind, especially in a team environment, like always pay attention to the resources they are using when they're like entering a site. Also, I love your comp. This is a really good comp. Just a side note. Anyways, yeah, double duelist is not very good in my opinion. And if you're gonna run one, it needs to be raised. So heck yeah. Anyway, sorry. Side note. Always, whenever you're like playing the game out, pay attention to the resources they use in what zones. So like this round,
pretty sure I called it.
Yeah. So well, this is more of a longevity thing. It's not particularly like. Oh, they flashed in hookah. Like, keep in mind how they're taking this for future rounds. So it's like, okay, if they're full flashing hookah, like, we probably don't want to play in there. Or we can apply some pressure early to make sure they throw this flash every time. And that way they don't have it for sight. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's just a side note. Anyway, so. All right, round, not much to talk about here. It is an eco, but I'm glad we can at least touch on that. Okay, cool. So let's see. So this is not as bad either because once again, your idea is to contest this control.
Yeah.
Back up a second, actually. Okay. So this is actually also a good round to talk about. Now, obviously, you ended up having to rotate again, but I want you to like kind of pay attention to like how you guys played this. Like, the goal is to like have this placebo control line, like not be here because we'll know when they enter hookah. So that being said, it's like this. Like they don't really have control of this until my stuff goes off, and we want to fight long, which is good and all, but like. My only issue with this is like you guys didn't really do a whole like why are you fighting long here? It's like what are we doing? You know what I'm saying? And it's not like what you did was like bad per se, but like we kind of just darted this and then we just kind of sat back. Now I know you guys. I'm assuming what is your goal here? To not let them have garden? I'm assuming that's it.
Usually for the orb.
Okay.
I don't know why I didn't grab it that round.
Okay. Yeah. So that's why I wanted to ask. So it's like we have this intention to like fight long and control long, but it's like why? And like if the goal is the orb and you just didn't do it one round, like whatever, it is what it is. Obviously that makes a difference. However, like at least it is there. So once again, as you can kind of like see a semi-consistent thing that's going on here, it's like we got to make sure like our game plan is like being like executed as well as it possibly can. So it's like maybe your util isn't super good here, which it is. It's good here in this situation for the record, but like you know, do you see where I'm going with this? It's like this is the third round. We're around. This is the third round in, and like we haven't really gotten anything done with our utility like once. Obviously, like we got the turret in for that one round, but like that was it. So it's like maybe we should start to rethink how we want to do all this stuff.
Yeah.
So like an easier option, we have the most broken character in the game on our team. If you want to get orb, just smoke this off, drop an alarm bot here, and then just call it a day. That's your long control. You know what I'm saying? And now we can do the hookah thing. I mean, now we can like guard hookah, and we once again we're getting back into the whole longevity idea. They wasted a lot of resources in hookah, so if we can half contest it, not fully contest it because we'll get flashed and die, but if we can contest it enough to the point where it's like, okay, hey, like we need to make them waste resources. Once again, like I've harped on this earlier, if you had set up for we put an alarm by here, we smoke that off, get the orb, good, done. We set up everything else for retake, so maybe we put our turret like elbow, I don't know, like here. And then we can test hookah. What ends up happening, potentially, this is just my thought process of the round, is we know if they come up long. We know, like, let's just, like I said, once again, hypothetically, we put an alarm bot. We know if they come up long, and if we can test this, they might waste Omen Flash. They might waste Phoenix Flash. What do they have? Phoenix Flash. They might waste a drone. It's like now we just give it, and that's great. So what happens is now my team has to retake. Whenever I have retake stuff set up, so you guys can just contest this whenever your turret pops or something, right? Like set it right here and then swing. And then all of a sudden, like we have like a good bit of control. And their resources are super limited because they had to force them on us into hookah. Do you see where I'm going with this?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Does that help, by the way? Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Okay, cool. So, once again, Killjoy and or Sentinel is very, very like specific. You have to make sure your game plan is efficient, and these are some ideas you can have. So it's not that what you guys did here was necessarily bad. It just wasn't necessarily efficient because it's like we're fighting for garden control, and it's like I don't really think we know why. You know what I mean? That was a good double swing for the record. And then we end up giving hookah completely, and now we're like kind of confused. Like, okay, wait, what do we do? Like now he's in a really weird spot. Or she maybe, and then like you're in a really weird spot. It's like we have all these like crazy things going on. It's like okay, if we swapped up our idea, our setup, we would have been different now. Anyways, and you guys end up dying here.
Yeah, I was really caught off guard because what was Arena doing in spawn?
Yeah, true. Just lurking right now sounds about right.
I mean, ranked it would make sense, but this is Scrim.
Yeah, it's interesting. I 100% agree. Anyways, okay, cool. So this is unfortunate. Another eco e-buy. What happened here? Okay, let me back up. Also, same thing. If he's throwing that dart, that's also your control. It's like now we know. Okay, cool. Now we can just set up for retake or whatever. Oh, you guys spammed. That's okay. Let's get an eco. Just, I guess the right answer is play it safe. Just wait. Don't even risk trying to peek this. But, you know. I know you're trying to just get something done because it's an eco round, and that is what it is. So.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on a second. Let me. God dang, it's been 20 minutes already. Jesus, how much do I talk?
Well, you talk about useful stuff, so.
True. Well, that's the plan.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, well, it usually always happens where like that we end up okay, and so well, I guess when I finish my point, like it usually always happens to where like the first few rounds I always say a lot because it's like we have to set up the idea for what's happening, and that'll lead us
Yeah.
into that'll lead me into giving you more useful information. You know what I mean? So, anyways, side
Yeah.
note. And see, now we end up swapping up our. Let me actually hear what happens here. Oh, nice. That was great.
Oh, damn, Valorant looks different.
Yeah, wrong Valorant game. They updated it, I guess.
Nothing market.
And see, see what Raze did there. Like she ended up kind of half contesting this angle. It's like that's something we kind of could have done. It's a little risky there because this angle is really hard to contest because you can span the early part, but like still. Ooh, NBS going crazy. All right, let's see. So we end up rotating. I hope they come to your side a lot too, because it's really hard to actually talk about what your setup does if they never like expose it, quote unquote. We'll use that word.
Pretty sure they do eventually.
Yeah, well they have the first like 4 rounds, so it's been fine so far, but I just have coached people before where they're asking about defense and then they're asking about defense and then they just people never come to their side. I'm like, you should definitely give me into a different VOD next time. But anyways, not that yours didn't do this, but okay. So this is good. I like this whole setup so far because what you're trying to do is just slowly like stretch the line. Like what happens is here, it's like they have post plant, right? Like let's just say this is their thing. We're slowly stretching this. We drop the turret, we stretch this line to like here, whatever. We end up dropping down. They end up pushing out. Now we stretch the line back to here with the alarm bot. This is all great. I like this. Problem is, look at your team and look at you. Look at where your relative. So what? All right. Let's actually before we even say anything else, where do we assume the enemy is? Obviously, there's 3 alive, but like, what are some hot spots we can assume that they're at?
Showers, U-Haul, and short.
Yep, perfect. So we eliminate one of those, kind of, for the most part. Like whether or not this is perfect or not is a different story, but this is good. Like it's good intention. So that could be U-Haul. And look at your team. They're clearing it out. And so if they're clearing this out, we can and this guy hears too, he's just gonna leave. You know what I mean? So this is why he ends up just running at you here. So this might seem like you get caught off guard here, but you need to kind of expect like, okay, like imagine, put yourself in his shoes. Like you're playing U-Haul, you're 2 people sprinting at you. Like you might contest it, but you also might just run away. So that's what this is just the only thing that really happened here. Either you expect this and you hold the angle. Yeah, you either expect this and hold the angle and let him walk into you, or you actually just don't even peek anymore. Let them clear as 2, because at the end of the day, like we obviously want to take trade fights, like end the situation, but the only people who can do it is them. So you should be the one to wait. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah.
Does that make sense? Okay, cool. Yeah, so you had no opportunity of being traded here, but if they would have pushed them together, they would have had the opportunity. So you just delay a little bit longer is all. And see, that not put your teammate in a weird spot. He has to kind of come back, and like, yeah, now it's just a disaster. But anyways. Good start. So yeah, once again, look at like this is what we should have seen earlier. Like see how they're contesting it, and like look at all the resources that they get flashed. I think they got something else thrown at them a second ago. And I'm getting a pick, all that good stuff. This guy was just ready for you. Okay. Let's see. So actually semi-similar to last round. It's like once we get the pick, we have numbers advantage, right? And so what do you want to do with numbers advantage? That's
not pick.
Why? What is going on?
Because they're the ones who have to push you.
Right, exactly. Well, for the most part, yeah. The good way to look at it is okay, there we go. Sorry, pen was just being whack. Good way to look at it is like if you play once you get a numbers advantage, if you play fundamentally from that point on, you can't lose. Obviously, like if they make a good play, like that's one thing. But like if you just play trades, you play numbers from that point forward, you can't lose. And so this actually goes kind of back to last round. So this is actually something that we've seen twice already, which is good because this is something to think about in future games. Last round, we're 36-12. Cool. We did this thing where we weren't really in a tradable position here, and we ended up going for a kill, and it ruins it. I mean, obviously there's more than just you here, but like you ended up like losing the round, or like it's a group effort, like I said. But like, you know what I'm saying? Like this is something that could not have happened. Same thing here. We end up, we have the numbers advantage, and we go for a thing that we're not traded in. Now, if your teammate had maybe dropped down or something, then so he sees you peek. That's why he destroys you. That makes sense. I was about to say that was freaking crazy. How did he know you were here? But that's why he saw your shoulder at the last second. If your teammate had maybe dropped down into here, then you go for the swing. Maybe he can come around and trade it after. But like you see, we just kind of take a 1v1. But yeah, like I said, actually this is a kind of a big thing too. Right here, he sees your shoulder. You see it. That's why he takes these couple pot shots. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why he just destroys you. But anyways, the bigger picture is though, like I said, we just kind of went for a swing that we didn't need to go for. Plus, your team is making a play. And so if you know this guy's long, here, let's back up a second again. If you know this guy's long, that means there's only max 3 here to your 4 teammates. And like they, like I said, theoretically should be able to just clean that up.
Yeah.
And they do. Look at that. But now it's a 2v2 because we ended up peeking beforehand. So
Yeah,
do you see this domino effect that happens?
Uh-huh.
Yep, we just got to be a little more careful of when we make decisions and like how we do it. Okay, they end up winning, which is great. How'd that happen? That guy whiffed. Holy.
Yeah, actually, I killed the other person.
Oh, okay.
You just traded, yeah.
There you go. But yeah, it wouldn't even have been this close. Like your teammate wins, but he has 48 HP because this guy's just so is trolling. I don't know what he's doing, but
Staring at the box.
yeah, I guess box looks good, I suppose. But anyways, so we see how this works. See this domino effect here. So I kind of like this setup a little more. What do you think I'm gonna tell you? What do you think I'm gonna say as to why I like this setup more? Think back to earlier rounds and like hookah, we'll say.
Because they're gonna throw in their util into hookah, expecting us to play hookah again.
Yes, good. So yeah, they're gonna probably just throw stuff at you here. So if we're not playing there, they waste resources, and then when they come out to site, they have to waste even more because you have utility down, or they just die. So yeah, this is good. Once again, I don't know if this is exactly what you're thinking in the moment, but you thought about it now, so that's good. That's what I want to see. Let's see how it pays off. So we ended up playing back. I'm assuming they were pushing side here as well. You kind of contested a lot.
Let my turret be long.
You can ult, yeah.
Oh, you have ult. That's why. Dude, why do I keep doing that? Jeez, man. Okay, this makes sense. I was about to say, what are you walking back here for? But you have ult, so I get it.
Droning.
One out.
They jumped out hookah.
It's a slow round.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, this isn't bad. Like this, like I said, I like your setup. I actually didn't realize he had ult here, so maybe this is debatable. Actually, I can't. This isn't necessarily all right. Maybe you actually go for that one setup we talked about, where you like, oopsies, where you like put your stuff here or whatever, and you just purposely completely, oopsies, it's like this thing, and like
I
you
actually just thought about that after the scrim, like in ranked. So.
Yeah. Okay, and like I said, I don't know if this is actually the correct setup. Like I don't know, or like here or whatever. It doesn't like. Well, I'm just to wherever the turret is doesn't actually matter that much. Actually, right here would probably be more ideal, so I could see both. Whatever. Anyways, yeah, and this way you can actually just play for your ult. But you know, once again though, the earlier setup we had was still pretty good. Like I like the plan with it. So all is well. That was just once again kind of a thought. Ooh. Yeah, this is just risky. At the end of the day, what's your here, let's get back to this website because that's great. All right, smoke's here. Right? I think it was right there. Ult's down. Bombs planted B, right? How do you win this round?
I didn't have to peek CT there.
But yeah, you just don't let them destroy this. Your game plan for the next 15 seconds is to defend this thing with your life.
Yeah.
And so you just kind of don't end up doing that because you swing this. So this is like the reason this isn't too big of a deal. I mean, it's a thing, right? Like this shouldn't happen. However, like you said, this is like your first Killjoy game, so maybe you just weren't thinking about it. But now we think about it now. Yeah,
I was thinking like because I was here and I have like basically I have control of like this, right? I was thinking of like extending that control to CT. I think that's what I was thinking.
Oh, okay. That's and I respect that. But at the very least, if you're gonna do that, because you have this up, just like shoulder peek it.
Yeah.
Because like I said, I call it placebo control. We're gonna clear all this. Like let's just say the line is here. Once you peek like this, you stretch the line automatically to here because they're not in that zone. Now, once they take that zone and you back up, the line is put back to here. But that's fine, right? You just going out, like you can stretch this line just by like in a safer manner. You don't have to be like super aggro with it.
Yeah.
Plus, like you just swing out wide here. Like I actually think the spray like in the smoke is not that bad. Like it's okay, but you're just like out in the middle of nowhere, so you don't have any chance to fall back from this guy. Like if you had been close to this wall, like right here, then you would have been fine maybe. But yeah. Once again, you're like. What we're seeing as a consistency is like you just gotta make sure your setup is as efficient it can be to your game plan, which it really hasn't been so far. But that's good because that's something to think about.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? I don't know if I worded that right.
Yeah, it does.
Okay, cool. I think I coached your friend. Is it Gigi?
Yeah.
I keep wanting to say Gigi. She had a similar I don't know why. She had like a similar issue where it's like her setup's like. Well, she kind of had like I don't know. It's semi-ish similar to this, but it was also related to like how her setup was or how she wasn't really playing around her setup. Like you're playing around your setup fine, but it's like is it maximized? But anyway, sorry. Side note, not that matters. Because she was just getting like too caught up in like just having good utility usage and like not super good positioning. Anyways, sorry. Like it really matters, but I just know you guys are friends, so I figured I'd bring it up.
It's like that's interesting to know because we're playing the same agent, so yeah.
But yeah, you don't really have that issue. You play a lot of Sova, and like if you play Sova correctly, it's kind of hard to get stuck in that zone of like because what a lot of players do that like play utility heavy agents is they get too caught up in their util, and that's one thing that she was having an issue with. But it's okay. Yeah. I hate this character. I don't actually hate this character, but she is broken.
Sure.
Yes, jeez, man, that's so insane. But yeah, and that kind of actually, I should have touched on this at the beginning of the VOD. Like once again, like whenever you identify your team and their team, it's like you could set up around your Astra being broken. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, true.
Like if you have a Killjoy Molly there, plus that suck, that guy's dead. he's bye like completely just yeah. So now it's an eco, but it's fine. I didn't even really touch on this round, but I guess there's not much to touch on. Not so far, at least.
I was just trying to play like a rat.
Yeah,
there.
I can see that. Respect. There is times to be a rat. This is a good example of one of them. Oh. So we've identified where they are. Nice. You are indeed being a rat.
Lucky broken.
One enemy remaining.
Oh, it's close to the TP.
Okay, get on.
I'll get on it.
I'm pushing.
Yeah, that works. Good. Not bad. Yeah, really not much to talk about there actually. I don't know. This is just a round, like that just kinda happened. Like good job on the post plant. This is good. Good job retreating. Good job trying to I mean, not bad. Alright. Next round. So I'm gonna kind of skip ahead a little bit more here because not that our time is necessarily low, but like I just wanna we might just see the same exact like thing. What map is Decipher on? You said? Split, okay. Ooh, interesting.
I whiffed this game. Sad.
Yeah, you actually did whiff a few times earlier. And I should have pointed it out because we talked about the DM stuff. However, like we said even earlier, like it's hard. Like, learning to apply stuff is actually pretty difficult. So, yeah, what should you have done here instead?
Because I haven't warmed up.
Oh,
before
fair enough, fair enough, fair enough. But yeah, what should you have done instead here when you fight this guy?
I
It's-
shouldn't have swung out.
Well, okay, yeah. Actually, not even talk about like your position. Let's just say like actually shooting him, like raw, like your raw fight with him. What's
Okay.
wrong? Yes, that to be fair, yes. Like I guess we'll touch on that now. Like you don't really have anybody to back you up here, or you should communicate with your person, like swing off my turret. But anyways, yeah. So you definitely swung out too far. But let's talk about just the actual shooting this guy. Like what's wrong here?
I'm crouching and spraying.
Yeah, you're just committing. You're just instantly like you see a guy, you're like, yep, I'm putting everything into you. It's like, all right, well now we're just sitting
Yeah.
completely still, and like this guy swings you, it's freeze kill. Now, oh, it doesn't get traded actually. She doesn't get the trade, but yeah. We've already talked about this. There's not a whole lot to say, because we already know like what to talk about. Oh my, oh that's sad. Unfortunate, but still, that's a good VOD actually. We got a lot of good stuff out of there. So, do we start defense? We do.
Split is my worst map, by the way. I'm just cursed. I have
Split.
like a 27% win rate on Split.
Really?
Yes.
It's fine. It's the worst map
Not
to be
even
fair.
happy.
Okay, this cam is broken. I actually just saw this the other day. It's very broke. I like this.
I love this cam.
Yeah, where do you even throw it? Let me see. I want to see where this is at. Which I don't really play Cypher anymore, but I'm so curious. No. Alright, simple as that. Yep, this cam is really good. So, okay, before we get into anything, once again, let's talk about game plan and identifying and all that. Like, what... Just give me some general thoughts as to, like, what you should do around your team, their team, all that good stuff. You can think on it for a second. That's kind of a lot.
Yeah.
Because I might.
We have a lot of flashes.
Okay.
And we have like an Astra Race possible combo. Breach possibly.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
Info with me.
So, what did? Just give me like the one big thing that their comp has, which you said is a lot of flashes, which I would agree. Flashes is probably the big thing. They're big like strength over here, right? And you can debate info too because these two, but so if they have a lot of flashes, what do they want to do? Probably.
Just burst into sight.
Yeah, they want to take a lot of space quickly. They just want to get in there and they just want to blind you to death, and they just want to like do that. So what should your setup be based on them going quick? There's actually two answers. Or two correct. I guess there's multiple correct, but like there's two like ideal ones that pop up in my head at least.
Play for retake.
Yes, that's
or
one.
Slow them down as
Well,
much as possible.
So kind of, yeah. I was actually gonna say a kill trip setup. There are kill trips on A because at the end of the day, if they're just here, I'll actually show you what they are.
Oh yeah, I have those.
Yeah. So yeah,
I
you
just
can.
have one trip because it's pistol.
God man, yeah, that's fine, that's fine. But just to bring it up while we're talking about it, yeah. So you know these two kill trips, the ones from like here to here. I'll just draw it out with the pen because this is not gonna work. You know these, right?
I usually what I use.
I've seen these two. Oh, do you have the link still?
No, but I can show in Valoplant. I usually.
Yeah,
use
that's what I'm
one
saying. This is what I'm
here.
saying.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
And I pre-place a cage there and a trip here and a cage there.
Okay.
And then I play elbow, and my cam's usually like up here or in there.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so obviously there's 100 different answers. These are cool trips, by the way. The blue lines you can think about. I don't know why those
Yeah.
lines look so weird, but anyways,
I haven't found them actually, so that's new.
yeah. Well, I saw that, and there's a guy that I used to play in like 10 minutes with a lot. Just a nice kid. He's just super eager to improve, and like I watched his stream the other day, and he set these setup. I was like, I actually thought it was pretty cool. So, anyways, yeah. So there's a time to go for kill trips because if they now the kill trip setup you don't do first because even though they have this aggressive and like space taking comp, if they aren't doing that right, then like a kill trip might not be the right option. But
Yeah.
because they don't have a jet to break your trips, I guess they have a raise, but you can obviously like pull them above her bot maybe. Like there's a lot of options here, and like you can go for a kill trip setup if they do end up consistently just sprinting at your team. That way they don't really have time to slow down, and if they do, you can catch them off guard, or they just run into your trips and they die.
Oh yeah. Also, this trip works as like I noticed.
Wait, are you in Valoplant?
Anti-jet. This one, it's like an anti-jet trip. Like they know I'm playing elbow by that time, and the jet just like dashes in here to try to kill me. But I have a trip there, And
Yeah, yeah,
so
yeah.
I just activate the cage and like it's a free kill all the time.
Heck yeah, heck yeah. That's the things that you should be like paying attention to. Is just ideas and like applying them. So heck yeah, good,
Yeah.
good. All right. So once again, good. You're such a rat. I like it. Yeah, so it's like these types of setups, like once again, you're not doing this here for the record. I'm just pointing it out while I think about it. Is like some people get too caught up in their utility and they play for these really, really quirky, like one way. They have these really annoying like plays and these really quirky like things they can do. But it's like, is that actually like helping you as a player? It's like the answer is no. For you, it's fine. But that's why I'm bringing up like the biggest thing you can do as Sentinel is like be able to change up your setup based on what your team needs and what they need. That's one of the biggest things you can do as a defensive like Sentinel player. And that was good. So not too bad because it's pistol round. You don't really, it's kind of harder to identify. And so once again, there's the two choices were, which one, I don't know if you were thinking this at the moment, but we're thinking it now. The two choices for you were either play retake or play kill trips. And you ended up playing the first one or the second option. And that's fine. Like that's good. I think that's a good choice here. Now, if their comp, let's say this is their comp. Let's actually swap this up. Can you see Valid Plant?
Yeah.
Ooh, let me think this through, actually. Let's say their comp is... What is their comp now? Lots of flashes. You know what? We're not going to do that because I can't think a lot. I can't think that quick. But, like, what you could do is just literally just go, like, scramble agents or go watch any pro game where a Cypher is. And just be like, okay, let's think about what their setup should be. And like you can even think that because some pro players don't even have the best setup sometimes. They just do the same thing. So like, but yeah, that's things that you can do. So I was gonna give you a hypothetical here, but like I don't really know which one to give you and like what the answer would be. So yeah, we end up rotating. This is cool. Yeah, then we get to I don't really look like there's much you could do here. Don't get prone to the sky step, by the way. That's the classic. I like that you go for the shot on it because a lot of players will turn and they just get peeked by sky. It's a great time. You know what I'm talking about? I've already seen those clips, right? Yeah.
It's happened to me.
Yeah, it's the worst feeling. It's like, oh no, I just got styled on.
I still think this guy's like controlling the bird. Like I that's what I thought because that's what most like amateur guys do, right? But this guy was not controlling the bird, and she peeks me while her bird's still flying, and I was like, "Holy!" That sounds about right.
Anyway, sorry, side note, doesn't matter, doesn't apply. I just made me think of it because I actually did want to bring up the point that like that is something you should worry about when you play against a guy, and I actually like that you went to shoot the bird because like when you go to shoot it, it's like it's showing that you're just trying to be initiative and not actually like have to worry about either getting blind or turning and getting, you know, like whenever you either turn from it or just get blinded, like you have one of those chances you're more likely to die in. But if you go to shoot the bird, like those chances decrease. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and I was also thinking mostly for my teammates because a lot of them were there already. So I was like, hey, if I can kill the bird, all my teammates will be saved from the sun. Yep, true. Good. All right, so what's your setup here? Looks like rat setup, which is fine. Yes. Okay. Is that just because it's an eco? Oh shoot. I think I get blinded here. Oh no. Oh, this one, yeah. That's what I was talking about earlier. But once again though, I like the fact you went to shoot it because that like decreases the odds of her being able to like do the play. Like she did the sky step, but she didn't really do it right. Like this is sloppy by her. But still, like this is good. If you would have killed the bird quicker, like if you just shot it a couple more times, like you would have been able to kill her. You would have caught her off guard actually. I just whiffed. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Wait, did we win the round? Yeah, we did. Okay. Okay, so another thing to think about with Cypher, I should have brought this up in the earlier rounds. Like, we need to pay attention to how our team holds mid. And so this isn't something you can necessarily do, like, off the rip. Yeah. But, like, if your team is consistently giving rope control, you should start placing a trip, like, here. Or, like, sorry. Like, maybe here. Oh, yeah. Which, like, I actually think that's OP to do now, like, off of the rip. I actually think you should just start doing that immediately.
because that gives your Astra or your Heaven player an instant opportunity to leave if they need.
Yeah.
So I actually, I don't know, I should have touched on this earlier. That's my bad. But yeah, I think that trip is extremely good, is to instantly start putting it right there. Why does this keep happening, man?
I think I had a similar idea with the cam where I can see like the.
Oh, okay, true. Actually, yeah, good point. Well, that kind of helps then. Okay, yeah, true. But still, once again, I guess the thought process still applies. Like, this trip is
Yeah,
broken. That gives your chance to play a chance to rotate. So you might not need to place both trips. Once again, it depends on their game plan, how they play, their aggression, like all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Anyways. Yeah, that's why you sat on the camp for so long. Okay, I got it now. I don't know why I missed that, but I did, and that's okay. So now you're just hiding. Once you see it, they push through. The only thing I might say actually in this situation is like there's really not a whole lot like you can do here. You're kind of in a weird spot, but like you're not really being proactive just by sitting here. So maybe
Yeah.
maybe think about moving around, but at the same time, it's like you're just kind of waiting for your team to pull the pressure so you can know to move or not. But anyways, it's fine.
Also, like being there kind of is a gamble that they'll just rush A through main.
Yeah. That the anti-jet trip you're talking about. Yep, so same setup. Once again, decent idea. As long as we have a game plan and we're trying to enact it, that's fine. Also, this is an eco, so it's just rat setup season. Wait, did you end up spamming? Oh, you did. I was about to say, I saw you reload. Okay. So end up having to rotate, it looks like. This round is whack. Okay, let's just back up a second. Okay, not much to talk about on A site. Like at the end of the day, you tried to anchor and you end up leaving. Like that's cool. Okay. So once again, wait, was that what were you saying?
Oh, I was just saying it was sad.
Oh yeah, true. Unfortunate, actually. Watch what your team does here. That's a 1v1.
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 Yeah.
And then you take a 1v1. So 3 people took 1v1s. It's like these are things you need to tell your team, which like it's it's not like you're a freaking coach or it's not like you're VOD reviewing, but one thing you make sure you can tell your team before you go into any scrim, any game is like make sure before we peak we have a teammate with us or something. That's something to think about. Because yeah, what you desperately did here isn't like yours isn't too bad. I mean, it still kind of is because like you didn't let your sage help you. Actually, I take that back. Yeah, you definitely should wait for your sage. But yeah, you see this like consistency issue. So yeah, I mean this round was like it is what it is. It was also like a save round for you at least. Oh shoot, just you win this? No. Okay, but now we have rifles. So good. I like that you changed your setup up. You don't have to yet per se because they've only pushed your site once, but still, good thoughts. Wait a minute. Let me actually. Okay, I was about to say, do you have full util? Yes, you do. Oh, they threw. Holy, we love to see it. Did you end up winning this round? Yes. Okay. Really not a whole lot to say here, actually. The only thing I might say as far as your setup is make sure your teammate has an opportunity to play around it, and so that either means you change it up or you tell them like, hey, like I'm doing this with my stuff. You should play here to assist it or whatever, right? That's kind of an idea, because like you could maybe potentially an idea is like trip up here. Once again, this is all hypothetical. Like, trip this, or maybe even deeper, like there, and have her play on site with you, or like there's a bunch of options here, right? But once again, she ends up dying, or this player ends up dying, and it's like that was a bad peak by them. For the record, they were by themselves. So it's not like your fault, or it's not the really thing you could have done there. But like I said, if you would have maybe told them like, play around my setup, they might not even put themselves in that spot to begin with, sort of a thing.
Yeah.
And then you end up just playing your life here. You go for a quirky little play. Not bad. This is risky, but I like it, to be honest. It's, at the end of the day, like I say this to a few people, like you have to fight eventually, and so like that's kind of what this is. Ooh. Is that DM training? No, I'm just kidding. Okay, but yeah, good. Not too bad. Not a bad round.
Yeah, I think the problem I have with like my cipher setups right now is or like setups in general is that like I just think about playing it individually, like how I myself would play it.
Yeah. Exactly.
Like what would
That's the
probably
thing. Like, it's
play it.
okay if you're like depending on their comp, you might need to play it like not like solo, but like it's okay for you to play it more for yourself, especially if you're maybe like on a solo site or like there's a lot of options where it is okay to do that. But you gotta ask yourself like, should I play for myself here or should I be playing for like my teammates positioning here? So this is like this taking little pot fights like this, like pot shots, I guess, just mini fights like this is like okay, because like at the end of the day, once again, ask yourself. I can never tell you the correct answer here, but it's up to you as a player. It's like okay, well the right answer is like I do like this, but what I'm gonna say is like you need to be careful doing this because at the end of the day, you don't want to die with all your stuff up. But
Yeah.
at the flip side, you don't want to just completely concede everything. So you know what I'm saying? Because like back when I would
Yeah.
play Cypher, this is back when Cypher would play a lot of B, which like he still does. But like anytime like I remember this the infamous like combo, right? We'll call it was like Raze would just run through B and just do everything she can to destroy Cypher setups. I would like purposely position myself around to contest her, so she now has to think even harder on what she's doing. And so like that's why I like what you're doing here for like a little bit. Because at the end of the day, you're not just letting them have free reign on your site, but once again, just be careful and like think about how you're fighting it and like all that stuff. So
Yeah,
not
I
like
was
you not
thinking
yeah
wide there.
yeah exactly that's like a potential thing. Wait a minute,
Unlucky for the Omen.
yeah he's pissed. Yeah, but good. This and still like now we're seeing like they're just sprinting into your set like animals, so your setup is really useful for that. What happened here?
Cam's dead. Oh, she's up.
Oh yeah. So, side note, once again, going back to what we said earlier, that line, a little different here. It's the example is not the greatest in this situation, but like we just kind of let the line be like here.
Yeah.
If your teammate's not shoulder peeking it, you should ask them to, or you should shoulder peek it.
Oh yeah. Okay.
But a little riskier for you because you're not in a good spot, and now they know where you are if you shoulder peek it. But it looks like she kind of knew where you were anyways. So, anyways. Side note, it's not too big of a deal, but anyways, okay, cool. Oh, I've seen this trick before. It's annoying. We just sit on our cam the whole round. Yep, you didn't do anything. Cool.
Love it.
Yeah, true. Was that your stage as well?
Yep.
So just destroy that completely.
They're not crossing yet. There's Sky.
Nice.
Yep,
Dodging sky flashes.
Yeah, I mean, hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. Okay, cool. Yeah, so like your setups and stuff are good. Like I like this has been a really a good game so far. I just don't want what happened in your Killjoy game. Not like it was bad or anything, but I want you to make sure you're being able to adapt because once again, playing a kill trip setup, which this is like kind of a kill trip setup, like at the end of the day, like the way you're playing it is pretty good here because they can't really do anything about it. But I don't want you to do this in a situation where they can. So I want you to always think about like what is their game plan? How can they what a goal do they want to accomplish and like how can they do it? All that good stuff. That's stuff you just need to always be thinking about. Which like I don't know if you thinking about that stuff like or not so much maybe.
Not much right
Okay,
now.
cool. Well then that's good because this is something to do. And like I said, this is a big thing that Sentinel players like big issue a lot of Sentinel players have that I don't. Okay, what happened here? Where's map?
I think I missed the Omen crossing ramps, and he killed me from ramps.
Oh,
That was rope.
vent.
Oh, rope.
Yeah.
Oh, the timing.
What happened to your teammate here? Sorry, I can hear it, but you can't. That's why I'm listening. Oh, okay. Was that Omen? Oh, that was Omen TP. Okay, that's what it is. Okay, I was about to say, what just happened? How did that happen? So similar-ish thing. I mean, this is a weird setup because at the end of the day, you got ulted by Omen, so it's like you kind of are forced to out of your spot, which is it is what it is. But yeah, we're expecting them to come from ropes, and then we just like stop expecting it.
Yeah.
So I don't actually know like what. Like I said, maybe you put a better trip here. sort of a thing. Like you put the rope trip we talked about. But
Yeah.
once again, comes down to have they gone mid a few times, and like have they been pushing this zone a lot. It's like if they haven't, then like you keep your setup, and if they do it once, then that's fine. But now it's like maybe this next round, maybe we should adapt and put that there instead or something. Because that once again, like especially in a game like this where they've gotten 2 rounds, it's like okay, that was one of the things that worked for them. Like maybe they want to try it again. So yeah. So yeah, that would be a good. Maybe this would be. Oh, okay, then it might be here. What happens? Everybody's just dying. Oh, that sucks. See, this is good because look what happens. They haven't come to your site like one. Obviously, they did the last round, like the round before this, because they went through mid. But like at this point, they're scared of your setup. So what should you do?
Set up in B.
Yeah, there you go. So this is one thing I want to see you doing as well. Making sure like your setups are proactive. They have been so far. Make it even more proactive by just moving around. And so maybe you just start going B now. Because yeah, once again, like look like our setups are doing nothing here effectively because they're just not coming to our site. Now, obviously, you just can't predict that, right? Like you can't always know like they're just gonna come A, they're not coming A. However, we can make an educated guess off the fact that every time they come A, they have lost, and we should maybe move around after that. It's like now all you need to do is even move once. Like you go B 1 round and you let them know that you're B, and like now they really don't know what to do. It's like you're moving around, and it's like okay, so we end up going B here, cool. Oh, the classic. Ah, they end up coming B. Okay, cool. Good. The world? She just ran out staring up. Hello? Okay. Oh, it's an eco. I don't know why she's looking up. I guess maybe your cam. She must have heard it.
My
But
cam probably.
yeah, but why did she not expect that? Whatever. Anyways, why'd you die here? Okay, that's fine. You got 3, so you can't complain. Cool. Not bad. So yeah, this is good. Once again, we've swapped our setup up, and maybe we can now go back to A. Okay, they end up not coming. Your team is doing a really good job of getting early picks, by the way. So once again, that's another thing you can maybe think about as your setup is. Like if your team is doing really good at getting early picks, oh my gosh, then maybe you can position your stuff around that. It's like the thing with Cypher is like it's really hard to like give you a right or wrong answer. It's always just a maybe or something. Okay, nice. We ended up getting half. But heck yeah, cool. All right, what do you think? How do you feel about all this?
That was great. I was just I'm kind of amused by that last one where the Sky Flash made me turn around and see the rays flanking me.
Yeah, true. That was we'll take that. She helped you out.
Yeah.
But yeah, heck yeah. So once again, your setup, like your Sentinel's not bad. I just want it to be proactive because what'll end up happening, what a lot of Sentinel players do, like I said, is they end up just getting really just like one-dimensional setups, and it's like not good for you as a developing like player. But if we are always thinking about what they're doing, how to do it, and moving accordingly, then you'll be good. So